go away from the discussion you guys are trying to have, just like tell me.
No, you're fine. Don't worry. Well, that's the whole point of it, bro. We fall into tangents every time. Like,
Okay, because that's
20 minutes.
bro. Yo, do you mind shooting the
Yeah,
logo
dude,
behind me?
it's so annoying. It's just I need to have my phone like on.
Oh,
Where's
shit.
the?
You could search it, I think, at the top. It's like a search. So practical to have that mirror. I just see everything in there.
Yeah, you can look at yourself.
Yeah, I can check myself out. And a handsome kid in the mirror.
Calling me Jack.
Yeah, people are gonna call you Jack too, by the way. You look like Jack a
Nah,
bit.
they never call me Jack.
What?
They call me Daddy.
Little shawty looking better with no makeup. She brighten up my days when she wake up. I know the mother got the same stuff, but I'ma keep it real, there ain't no fake love till our day come. Little baby wants.
Are we filming?
We are filming.
Yeah, everything's going. We didn't actually start the pod. I was just answering his question from before. So that's why I started.
Why are you talking about podcast stuff when you're not on the podcast yet?
All right, so intro. Welcome to a new episode of the NSL podcast. Today, as you see, we have a first guest. One of my better friends in the music world, Zax. Special edition of the pod for a few reasons. First one being that obviously we have a guest, but second is that we really want to deep dive into mental health. So today's episode is going to really focus on that primarily. Obviously, we're going to talk about music and things that relate into it, but that's why I wanted Zax on today, especially because it's a topic that I know he's been through a lot and he has a lot to say about it. He's a well-spoken individual, so we're just going to have a good time.
We're talking about depression, baby.
Yeah, let's get depressed, boys. So is this your first time on you've been interviewed and stuff or never?
So I've been interviewed once with Mirko. You met him.
Yeah.
I've been interviewed once when I was 16 and I started rapping. It was with MTL Nights Out. I don't know if you know who those guys are.
Nope.
They plan events.
Okay.
And it was the corniest shit ever. It was a 10-minute interview and it's still out there. So if you find it, don't watch it.
Okay. Well, we'll try to make this one better then.
Always.
But yeah, it won't be that much of a formal interview. It'll be more discussion. Like, we're already friends, so I don't need to interview and ask you all that. But there's even though you are my friend, there's a lot that I don't know about you that much. Like, I didn't even know you were born in England until an hour ago. So that's pretty crazy. Or you told me and I probably forgot. I have a
No,
bad
I don't.
memory.
It's not something I just go around
Yeah, I understand.
waving.
I understand.
Yeah.
But
I mean, we've seen each other, if we're realistic, like probably 4 times.
I know, but that's crazy because
But
we've talked
every time
way
it's
more.
like-
Yeah, every time is lit. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially last time.
Yeah, I think it's the
I wish they
alcohol.
would have come last time. I had texted you guys, but it was like last minute thing. That was fun. But anyways, we'll do more of those. But yeah, that's what's weird about social media and stuff. Like, I talk to you a lot, but technically I hadn't met you for so long, but we would talk all the time.
Well, tell them how we actually met.
Oh
Do you
yeah,
remember?
okay. This will be a good intro. Yeah. So we both participated in this competition, this contest. What do you want to? Is it
Oh
competition?
God, yeah.
Yeah. So All Stars tournament.
Yeah. Oh
First
my
ever All
God,
Stars
that's
tournament. That's
true.
how I met Zax. And NSL had just started, by the
Yeah.
way. Like,
They were new.
That was
we
the
just-
first summer of
yeah,
NSL,
we had
pretty
just
much.
a few months into it.
Yeah.
You know, we had created everything in March, the Instagram page and stuff, and then I had randomly come across this All Stars page, and then I was like, okay, whatever. They ended up messaging me, and then I just enrolled in whatever the tournament thing was, and so that's how I met Zax. And looking back, I gotta say, I think he deserved it over me.
And so we ended up in the final round of the tournament. We were gonna win. The winner won $400, a music video, everything.
Studio session, yeah, a couple things, yeah.
And the finalist, it was you against me. You won by 5 votes.
It's crazy, bro.
And there were 1,000 total.
Yeah, it was.
And I remember I was like, fuck this guy. Fuck that guy. What the fuck? And then this motherfucker texts me and he's like, yo, congratulations, shit. I was like, oh, he's too nice. And then after that, I was like, oh, I know, he's a homie.
I remember too because it's a weird thing because it's a competitive space, right? You're trying to win. But I remember you texting me and you were actually really genuine about it. You were like, bro, are you finessing it? Is it fake? The votes you're getting. I remember you asking me that. And I'm like, bro, because you were saying how at the time I think I only had 500 followers on our NSL page.
Because someone else was cheating. That's why I asked you.
Well, I think there was a few people cheating,
Yeah.
even in future tournaments and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember you asking me straight up, and I was like, bro, I promise you, the reason why I think we did so well with a small audience at the time is because that's the first time that when you put out your first song and stuff, people are curious and they'll check it out.
Yeah.
So that was our initial buzz. like people from my high school, people from their high school, like people that just knew us out of music. They're like, oh, like these guys just started this. Like they were checking it out and they were like sending it to their friends and stuff.
Yeah.
So
well,
the timing for us helped a lot.
we also had 4 of us who were like actively going out to all of our friends
Yeah.
and family, being like, "Yo, go vote for,
Yeah.
go
Okay,
vote for
yeah.
a boy." Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had like a lot of pushers.
We had a
for
lot
it.
of like just people like, you know, I'd posted it to my personal Instagram, which at the time had more followers than my music Instagram. And then like people would just go and like show love that way too. But I remember it was down to the wire and like the All Stars page was messaging me. They were like, bro, we can't believe how tight it was. Like it was literally like tied. Like, cause you know, there's like a scale, like 49, 51, 51, 49.
Yeah,
Like it was
man.
just like to the last second. And then he texted me, you won by like 4 votes or whatever it was. I was like, bro, that's insane.
I started panicking. I started sending it to random people I didn't know, like followers that I had on Instagram. I was like, "Yo, I know I don't even follow you back, but just like go vote, like vote." It was like so like just disingenuous at the end because I was like, "What the fuck's happening?" I
Yeah,
thought I was
it
gonna
becomes
win.
bigger than the music, unfortunately, which is what's a bit unfortunate about those kind of competitions. But
But I like All Stars a lot. I mean, I
Me as well.
like what they do. I have one music video with them, No
Yeah.
Time for Emotions.
Yeah.
And they're so professional. They like came to my place. We did a whole sketch. They bought like in the music videos. There's like a fake heart, and so they went and they bought a beef's heart or something like that,
like an actual heart,
like an actual heart. And then they
Wow.
bought like fake blood and everything. And
it's kind of
it
nasty,
was,
bro. So you
That's-
hold, that
that's
heart you were holding in the video is a
dedication.
real heart.
It's a real heart. It's fucking huge. Like it's so unrealistic, but and it's stinks so bad. Like they're like, listen, Zach, we'll film the music video. You have to hold it. You have to take it out. We're not touching this shit. But yeah, I really like those guys. I like Wiz a lot. He's a very good
Yeah.
producer too.
Wiz has become one of my better friends too. Like, it sucks though that All Stars is kind of
Yeah,
falling
they're-
apart.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah,
It's
they're
official?
kind of done. I spoke to Manu on the phone last week. He called me just to catch up, really. Because it's crazy when you start like working with people a lot, you become their friends, you know. And so yeah, just to catch up. And Phil decided to leave, and when that happened, well, Wizard was like, "Well, you guys aren't just leaving me here, so I'm gonna do my own thing." So that's why he went into like producing, and then
He's killing it right now.
he's
He
doing
is.
great in his
He's,
niche.
like,
He's
killing
doing
it.
great in his niche. On a selfish level, it's a bit unfortunate. I think I told Dusty this. You know, when we were making like pop songs and hip hop songs, like it was so fun because when I'd chill with him, we'd make our music.
Mhm.
Now, since he's changed like genres and niches, like a complete different universe in like the EDM world. So selfishly, it's like I miss the old days a bit, but I'm happy for him. He's killing it. He's been super consistent. His TikTok is popping way more than ours, and
It is because
Yeah.
your TikTok's popping.
He's got
Yeah.
like 25.
yeah, 25K.
pretty
Yeah,
sure.
he's doing shows now because he met a few friends who are in that world, and so I'm really happy for him. He just shifted focus, still in music, but different kind of lane. Anyways, so what's cool about this music thing, full circle with what we were just talking about, is that it introduces you to a whole bunch of people you never would have met before, and it builds friendships that wouldn't have existed. And you know, I got to give a lot of respect to you because when that situation happened with All Stars, when I first met you, there's a lot of people that wouldn't have like taken it as like maturely as you did. Like you were never like, especially like you're quite young too, especially at that time. Like you were very like, you weren't petty about it. You weren't like, what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of egos in like the music world, and most people that I meet in the music world, they do have a big ego when it comes to collabs or features or supporting other artists because they feel like, I don't know, their mentality is kind of like selfish. But you weren't like that because when I'd message you and that's the thing, like I got to the next round and blah, blah, blah. You weren't, you were actually like really nice about it. And that like right away I was like, okay, this guy's actually a good dude. And that's why I think the mentality going into it is really important because for you and to anyone who has that mentality, it's like you'll have way more opportunities, right? Because like you're saying now, like the all-star guys, you didn't win that tournament, but you ended up getting to know them, became like you started working with them too.
I mean, just today, if I would have been, if my ego would have taken over back then, I wouldn't be doing a podcast today. Right?
So see, it goes deep. That's what I'm trying to say.
And a lot of people don't realize everything is an opportunity, right? So
Exactly.
it's like, even when shitty things happen, it's like, I lost, but then that probably gave me motivation to go make another song that was probably a banger. So it's like, yeah, it's not, I don't know. And I remember I was probably mad about it for like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And then I I'd rather lose to like someone that I listened to his thing. I was like, oh, he can rap.
Yeah.
Than, there was some shitty people in that
Yeah.
tournament too. Like they were bad.
Yeah,
So,
we could get into it. There's a whole lot that I want to talk about, and I know that you're an open book. So, as I said before, if there's something you don't want to talk about, it's fine. But what I noticed from you, bro, is that you're very particular when it comes to like your friendships and the people you get close to. And what I mean, and I don't mean that necessarily in a bad way. You're just very, very attentive. Like I am very like you overthink a lot. Like things that you tell me about both in and what I find interesting is that bleeds into your music. Like the overthinking that you do in your personal life, in your relationships, in whatever, it translates into your music because you end up overthinking your music. You don't put out music. Bro, like you would be such a big artist if you would do things the way I do. Like if you were consistent and not overthink and just let it go and move on to the next, rather than hold on and like not take those steps, I know for a fact that you'd be huge. But that's not a diss. Like I'm just saying that I wonder, in your mind, do you feel like that's like a heavy weight on your shoulders? Meaning, do you feel like how much do you feel like that's affected your growth as an artist or just your artistry success or whatever you want to say?
yeah, well, I'd say that, you're talking about if I operated the way that you operate, then I'd have a lot more success. I think that deep down, there's been shifts in my mind about what I really want. So you've made the conscious decision of this is what I want. I have my NSL team. I want us to like do this thing. And meanwhile, I've been like, oh, I started making music because I was like depressed. And then shit changed. And now it's like I just make music because I feel like I need to. And then on the side, I'm like, oh, I want to have my businesses and I became obsessed about money not too long ago. That was very recent. And so I don't know if it's because I overthink or if it's because deep down that's not what I want. Right? I think that you've made this conscious decision. And when it comes to being particular about, friends and who I surround myself with, I would say before it was maybe overthinking. Now I just think I'm more mindful. I'm very attentive to how my body reacts to certain people, how I feel when I'm around certain people, when I do certain things. So yeah, that's also, when I release a song, I don't usually feel that well. When I release songs, it's just a lot of like, you're a marketing guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're so good at marketing, but I don't know if these guys could like be as marketers as much as you are.
No, not at all.
I tried for
And
like 3 months and
Exactly.
I just couldn't.
I know for a fact that like I tried putting stuff out on my Instagram, like beats and stuff, and once it became more like I need to do this, because I want to grow this, and it wasn't as I don't know,
Like, are you
as
saying,
much of a hobby.
Yeah, because
Then
of a
it
job
becomes
rather than
like-
a hobby? Is that what you
Yeah,
mean?
then it's like, oh shit, like I'm not growing at the same pace. It's discouraging. And
Yeah,
it's also
that's
like
it.
now it's not as fun anymore because now I'm forcing it.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
think
lot
if
of-
it feels forced.
It's a lot of work to put in.
Yeah.
It's a very long term game.
Commitment.
Yeah.
And I also think that you're consistently breaking a limiting belief that I have, which is that it's impossible to blow up without like a label, without proper support. You're consistently like always posting, you're always on that marketing shit. And in my mind it's just been like, oh, there's no use in trying cuz I don't have that budget. Like I don't have like that organic reach or anything. So I think that part of it is also just a limiting belief that I have that I should probably work on eliminating. But then again, I'm not even sure where I want to go yet. So probably need to figure that out before.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But I guess it falls in then in that case to also like self-doubt, right? Like but also what I find strange, I just want to touch back on one thing you said, like as an artist, as a musician, it's sad to hear that when you put out a song, you were saying it's like I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you were saying it was like a negative feeling, like you're stressed when you put out a song?
I mean, it depends the song, right? Because the last song I released is Proud to Be Me.
Yeah,
And
which I really like, by the way. That's the video in their house there, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So for those who haven't heard it, it's a very
vulnerable.
very, very vulnerable song. And I know that certain people are going to hear it.
Yeah.
And to me, that's stressful. But at the same time, I don't have that many listeners, but it's crazy to me that I posted that video and some random girl in Germany found it. And she starts telling me her story about how like her ex abused her and everything.
Mhm.
And the song really helped her. So it's like, I want to release these songs because I know that they have a positive impact on me and it can have a positive impact on other people. But then again, it is stressful, you know, to get back home and my parents are like, oh, we heard the new song. And then you're like, oh, now I got to explain. And even like other people. So I think that that's part of it. Other part of it is just it's a drag sometimes. You know, you got to ask people, please listen to my song. Please care about what I'm doing. It's not.
That part's no fun. You don't want to beg. Yeah.
You don't want to beg, and you know you got to be a bit of a salesperson.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But
it's a good skill to learn, though.
It's probably
Yeah.
the toughest part, and that's what you've nailed. And that's like it has to be one of the most like tedious,
sure.
annoying, and most discouraging parts for sure.
That's how I describe it. Discouraging is a good word.
I think
Super
the
discouraging.
reason why it's intimidating for the most part is because obviously it's time consuming, but that's like anything else. But the biggest thing is that there's no blueprint that'll tell you like if you do this, that, like it's gonna work and you're gonna have this many results, right? Like it's just one of those things. It's not like you go to a school and get a degree and then you know exactly like that path. You just kind of hope, like, you know, the TikTok I started, I hoped that this would work. Guess what? It didn't work. I changed directions and I went educational. Finally, that worked. So you double down. So it's like there's a lot of unknown and there's a lot of like there's no guarantee. And I think that's the most intimidating factor is like when you haven't found something that works, it's easy to get discouraged because it's like no one's there to be like, yo, if you do exactly this, you'll get exactly that. Like I don't know what's going to work and what doesn't. You know, whether it's for songs, whether it's for this, that, like it's a gut feeling. And then if I take time to digest the thought and the idea, like this podcast, for example, it's something I thought about like months before doing it because I really wanted to be like, okay, like, am I really ready to like invest my time, energy into that? Do I think the ROI is potentially there? Right. And I don't mean that financially. I mean like for the brand. I mean it for everything. And I do think one thing that's kind of funny is like the people that this is my perspective, people that like make decisions the quickest end up like flopping the quickest too, because like they don't have time to like process and digest. Like they'll have like an impulsive thought, like, oh, let's say the podcast, like, oh, let's start a podcast. And then they kind of rush it. And then it's like, next thing you know, it flops because their structure wasn't there. So the same thing goes for anything. I'm just using the podcast as an example now, but I do think the biggest part, just not to get too redundant, is really the fact that like there's no guaranteed return. So that's intimidating because it's like, yeah, you don't know if you do this, like if you post like a reel versus like a full length video, like you're trying to figure out like what is the best move. No one's going to be there to tell you what the best move is. You just had to test it. Sometimes it'll flop. So that's what sucks. You can't base your happiness as an artist under results because we would have given up a long time ago. You know, there's some songs that I loved and I thought like, yo, this is the one. Like I thought No Makeup was the one, and it's like it has like 3,000 plays now. I really thought that would have like that would be the biggest song.
Has none of her songs have popped off?
I don't know. Well, we
All
need
in
to.
went pretty good. No,
All in did pretty
All
good.
In did.
That's
Okay,
true.
but that's the
pretty good.
worst one.
And it is.
It's the
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
worst one.
that's-
The mix is doo doo. I don't know if one of you guys mixed that.
We
I know
did
I
it.
mixed my verse. It's fucking doo doo.
I still mix my stuff, but that's because like I'm learning, right?
That was like
it's
pretty
still-
early in the game.
Yeah, it's
that
still not
song,
even like
so,
my new stuff now. It's not perfect.
yeah.
You know it because you studied that, but like I just learned it on
The
YouTube,
last one-
right?
the last one sounded good.
But it was on my phone there.
No,
I
no,
played
no,
them?
not that one. Last night I re-listened to all your shit. I mean, not all of it. I listened to like the ones I liked,
Okay.
and like the ones I like the most are the most recent ones.
Oh, the newer songs. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the mix is like tough.
Zax and I have an unreleased song which you need to put out. He has so much good music out and he never puts it out, and I always tell him.
Oh, we do have a nice.
It's called, what's it called? Like Bahamas? Or it's called
Jungle.
Jungle.
or Bahamas. I don't know. A Boogie stole Jungle, so you know.
Yeah.
I like
it's good.
Bahamas. There's a lot of jungle songs, so Bahamas sounds nice.
Yeah.
They're just copying.
Yeah.
Anyways, we made that like a year and a half ago now. And I remember we were supposed to drop it last April, bro, but then we ended up
Man.
dropping 3 Reasons, which is the other song we worked
Fuck.
on.
True.
That's true. And
then,
let me say something and after that we're gonna stop sucking each other off, okay? So that's one thing is that I think that in life it's super important to surround yourself by people that you admire. And what you're talking about is like me overthinking, not doing shit. It's very just me letting personal stuff take over my goals and then not moving forward with that. And I hate the fact that there was so much talk and so little action before, and that's a tendency that I'm trying to get rid of. And nobody's perfect, but you keep moving towards it. And you're so like, I know you say people make decisions quick, but what most people actually do is say they're going to do something and never do it.
No, that's true.
And so I think that it's better to do things quick, and I think that you that's the reason why I actually want to hang out with you, because it's like you're not a bum, you're not a random bum who's like, oh, I'm gonna do shit and doesn't do it. And I feel like that's something I identified with for a long time, and just recently I'm starting to take action to actually change things. So yeah, now we can stop.
Yeah.
Constantly
yeah.
complimenting each other.
Yeah, I won't. Yeah, I get it. I appreciate that a lot, though. So we could go in any direction. I do want you eventually to tell us the tale about if you're cool with it of when you got jumped. I kind of want you to tell that tale if you're down. If not, we could skip it. Then after we'll have the segment of Bean will cook you up a beat, and then we'll see if you want to freestyle on it. We'll do a 15-minute timer. I guess in a few minutes you can start it.
You could try to hop on too.
I mean,
we'll see.
Is there a question associated with it, or do you just want me to tell the story?
Oh, the jump. Yeah, well, we could get into it if you want. Yeah, there's a few topics I want to talk about, but that just being one of them, I don't want to forget, so I'm bringing it up. Yeah, one thing, I guess before jumping into that, unless you want to jump into that now.
Follow your rhythm, dude. I'll go with it. It's cool.
Okay, so I saw this thing, and I want all you guys' opinions on it, because I don't know where I stand on it. I found this super interesting. So 50 Cent, I have no idea where this comes from. It was like an interview. I'm pretty sure it was 50 Cent. Was saying, he said, depression is a privilege. He's like, when you're really desperate and when you're really like fighting to survive, like you don't have time to be depressed because you're just like your survival mode. That's what he was saying.
Oh, I agree with that. I thought,
so
to a certain degree.
So this got me reflecting, and I was like, okay, if I think of it objectively, you look at North America, you look at us, like we're super privileged, right? Like anyone, well, obviously I'm not saying everyone is blessed living in North America. There's some people like that have a very, very tough living situation. But what I mean is on a macro level, did we get so far disconnected from basic human like needs? Is that what led to a new generation of people being more and more depressed? Yeah, give me 1 second. More and more depressed, more and more anxious. I mean, I understand that probably in the past people have been depressed and stuff, but it seems like it's just more and more and more dominant. There's also so many factors. There's social media. There's a million factors that fall into play. What I'm saying is, when I heard that take, that's something I never, ever like thought of. When I heard that idea that he was saying depression is a privilege, it got me thinking that maybe it is. And maybe we live such a good life and we have so much opportunity that we become kind of intimidated by like, we start taking for granted the little things that matter more. We overvalue the things that don't matter as much on the grand scheme of things. And that's what makes us fall into these traps of like being anxious, being depressed, this and that. And so that's my introduction. I want to hear you guys' opinion. I know Evan wants to say something right away, but
I mean, obviously this is like a very general view of it.
Yeah.
There's outliers everywhere. So like either like you can be, I mean, there's dogs that are depressed. Like, and there's also, no matter your walk of life, I think you could fall into it. But I do think that it's more prominent when you're in an area of more comfort, I think.
That's a good way to put it.
It's hard to say, but like once your basic needs are met, like there's someone who traveled to, I have no like recollection of like where this came from, but there's this guy who went on like a trip to Africa. He like went to like a tribe, right, and lived with them for a while.
Yeah,
and all they do is just they hunt, they gather, they party at night, and then they they're like, I guess they're
rituals.
Yeah, exactly. Like whatever. They're cultural things that they do. And apparently like they're just not depressed because they're just always in that grind of just survival, and that's like their number one focus is, get the food, bring it back, feed the family, tend for your loved ones, you know, and there's no time to think about like other stuff like that. But then again, there's always outliers. So just like it's more of a general idea that
Exactly.
like, comfort.
And that tribe you're talking about is actually I saw that, and it's like they're fucking crazy. They run like 5 hours a day, full sprint. They don't get exhausted. If they get stung by bees, it just doesn't affect them. They're like it's like fucking wild.
Okay, that part might be capped though.
No,
it's not. It's not. They like go in the trees and they like get all the sap. Is that
honey?
Yeah. And so the bees are just they don't care.
They're immune to like
they've probably gotten stung. They've probably gotten stung so many times that like the venom is just completely
They numbed out.
Well, you know how like anti-venom works. It's just venom that they put into you. So like it's same concept. You get stung enough, and your body's ready for it.
Damn, that's crazy.
To backtrack on what you said, I have to agree that, you know, comfort is definitely a spot where people can fall into it. I think it's social media, like you did say, but a big contribution to it is just that we live in a society that's like consumerism, right? And that's not bad in itself, but what's bad is that what people are consuming is fucking horrible. They're consuming social media. They're consuming food that is horrible for them, drugs, nicotine. And so there's
and a lack of physical activity too.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's a big one.
There's this there's a billionaire called, I don't know if he's millionaire called Brian Johnson, and he basically took all his money. He's like, I'm gonna put $2 million a year, and I'm gonna live the most healthy lifestyle and try to reverse my age. And so what he's doing is every morning he takes like 100 supplements. He does like laser light therapy. He went batshit crazy with it, and he actually managed to reverse the speed of aging is lower than a 10-year-old right now. So basically he ages slower than a 10-year-old. So and his skin is like the skin of an 18-year-old. His liver is like 30 years younger, type shit like that.
Really?
That's crazy.
Damn.
What was observed is that everybody's telling him, listen, like don't you live like the most boring life ever. He goes to bed at the same time every single night, eats the same food, boring ass life. He was like, I used to be depressed. I can't even dream about eating a donut now. I live the healthiest life, and my body, since it's like in such good shape, now he's like 3-4% body fat, fucking ripped. He's so happy, like genuinely. If you watch him talk, he's so open and comfortable with who he is that to me, he's actually redefining what happiness is. And I just think it's what we consume. It's social media. It's what we're eating. And even though you can't go spend $2 million a year on like 100 supplements, what you can do is like rearrange your sleep. Be careful what you're consuming. Don't take drugs. So I think it's really what you consume once you're in that state of comfort.
Damn, that's a crazy. I didn't know that, but that almost proves like the point that that's what it is.
Yeah, what he's doing is great. A lot of people hate it because all they hear is like rich man spending money on de-aging.
Yeah, whenever someone has money, they always use that argument.
What he's actually doing is he's redefining what health is, what happiness is, and I think it's amazing.
Well, to finish off, I don't want to go too long on this, but I think it comes down to, obviously it's lifestyle, but I think the biggest problem is us as in a consumerism kind of world. If you're valuing the wrong things, it seems like our society is starting to value things that go further and further away from those basic human kind of needs that I was explaining before. Like that life is technically so simple. You're valuing family, you're valuing like the very basic things that make us human, right? But it seems like with technology, there's so many factors that fall into play here. There's not like one person to blame or one factor to blame, but it seems like collectively we're distancing ourselves so much from like that primal human like element that I think that's why we all have like kind of an existential crisis. I know I didn't pronounce that word properly, but it's all good. Like the fact that most people here, we value money, we value like attention, and we value like, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Like status. Like we're looking for status, money, and that's pretty much it. And I think we see it a million times, but when people hit those targets and they actually accomplish those things, they quickly realize that that doesn't fulfill them at all. And so guess what? How else could you, like, obviously you're going to fall into a state of depression because if your whole life you think that that's like the direction to happiness, that's like the end goal for you to be happy, you get there and you realize that you were valuing the wrong thing that entire time, then it's almost like
It is depressing. Like,
it must
Yeah.
be such a hard
Yeah.
pill to swallow, because from an outsider perspective, like you were saying, everyone thinks you were winning because you got the money, you got the nice house, you got the nice car, whatever it is. From the outside, because we've become so brainwashed that those are the things that make us like good humans and like successful ones, that it's almost like a never-ending cycle of like chasing something that deep down we know is wrong, and that's not what we should be chasing.
I think a lot of that though is less that it's not like what you're chasing, but it's more there's a lot of pressure.
Societal
To-
pressure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, not even societal, but like self pressure. Like I know I feel pressured to like make a certain amount of money a year, you know,
Yeah.
and I know I have a certain amount of pressure to like I'm thinking about in the future, like damn, like I want to live in a nice house because I want to be comfortable. I want to make a certain amount of money, so I need to stress about like a job, you know. I want to be able to put my kids through whatever they want to go, like hockey or whatever sports they want to play and stuff. Like that stuff, like when you think about it, is also stressful in the making of that whole.
Do you think as men, as young men, we have more of that pressure? Because like in society, we are kind of stereotypically the role to provide in that aspect. And deeper than that, that followed by, as young men, do you think there's still a stigma to, 4 of us sitting on a couch talking about mental health on a Sunday? Like, that's kind of crazy when you think about it, right? Like, how do we get over this stigma that, like, pressures that men have? I know this is a heavy question, but like to follow up on what you're saying, I guess number one would be, do you think men have more of that pressure or feel more of that pressure, whether it's like tangible or just like imaginary? And the directions we're going in, like if we talk about things like therapy, if we talk about seeking any kind of mental help, I feel like as a man, that's one area where it is maybe more intimidating for us to kind of like it's a pride
to
thing
actually like open up.
to open up and just to kind of acknowledge it and to admit it, right?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough for sure. I could, like, I think talking about shit helps so much.
It
And I
does,
know from like, I mean, I wouldn't say I was ever like actually depressed, but I know from experience when I've gone through like rough patches, talking about it with friends and relating and stuff, and even just like bringing it up to like, my parents, being like, I'm not feeling really good right now,
Keeping it inside is like the worst.
Just like
thing
talking,
to do.
talking
pretty
is
much.
nice. And also what you're saying about pressure on men, like I don't want to be
Well, if
make
you feel
gender
it,
norms,
you feel
but
it.
absolutely,
Yeah.
I think men have a lot more pressure in terms of like making a good salary and providing, even if it's not like the whole. There's obviously a lot of very strong women out there who want to make like a lot of money, but I think men are under more pressure for that for sure, and it's inevitable, and I don't think that's going to change. I think it's changed.
You think it's a bad thing?
No, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's good to a certain degree to have like a little bit of roles, where it's like
No, I mean the pressure to make
the pressure to make money.
Yeah. as a man, like
I
or
think
as a person.
that's pretty like
It goes
loaded.
deep. It goes
Yeah.
deep.
I think the pressure is good because it makes people want to
It's
strive.
a
for
motivational
greatness,
factor. Yeah.
Like if it weren't for that pressure, I wouldn't be as
Productive.
like fuck, I need to like, I need to get to work on time. I need to do my shit.
That's
I need to like,
motivation.
get my hours in,
Yeah.
Like,
I was debating, not arguing with, I was in a debate with a few friends this summer, and we don't have to get into this topic, but just to kind of close that off, because I don't want it to seem like we're like playing victim here and men, we have it so hard. Because I think I was arguing the side that like in society, it's harder being a woman than a man. And I don't know if that's maybe biased because I grew
hot
up.
take.
Right.
I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding.
How dare you?
I'll say something about that once you're finished.
I think my perspective on it is a bit biased because I grew up primarily with like 2 women, being an older sister and my mom. And I saw like their struggles as like both like a young girl and like a, middle-aged woman. And I think it exposed me to things that we wouldn't necessarily even realize if like you just grew up in a household of men, let's say. And, I think that both men and women, they have the same amount of pressure, but just in different kind of areas. anyways, not to go too deep on the topic, but I do find, my opinion is that it is harder to be a girl in this society than it is a guy. And I think the reason why it falls back into what we were saying before is, unfortunately, like, their value is pre-positioned on factors that are out of their control, versus men, we are more in control of those factors.
I think that's a very
That's a strong argument.
I think that is a hot take.
And
that could
that's
be
a
a hard
strong
take.
argument to say that it's harder to be a man, because then that means you need to build yourself up.
You need to really
But-
force
but-
yourself to get to that
What
level.
I will say is imagine everything you could do if you stopped arguing about who had it worse. Like it's okay to talk about how hard it is, because that's what you need to do. You need to talk about others. But when it becomes a competition about I have it worse, it's like, how can you be like such a victim?
You're playing victim, yeah.
Like at some point, it's like some people are born without legs, dog. Like fucking.
Yeah.
You can't live a life that way, because it's not empowering, and it's just gonna block you, and it's gonna build a mountain of limiting beliefs.
Mhm.
That's gonna. So I mean, I don't think it's even a discussion that's worth having at this point. It's like, if you have a struggle, explain it. You don't have to start arguing about if their struggles, because you can't compare it. It's so different. Like
It's true. It is an endless argument, and it's probably a useless one to
Absolutely.
It's more valuable to acknowledge those kind of vulnerabilities in our society and try to help where you can. But yeah, to have that back and forth, it's like absolutely useless. Anyways, yeah, it goes deep. We could literally be talking about like these topics for like 12 hours. Being it's up to you if you want to keep participating or you want to get to cooking.
I am going to
we're-
start cooking.
We're
I
45
believe.
minutes in already. Boys.
Yeah.
That's
Fuck.
Crazy.
We're
Yeah.
gonna-
Yeah.
That's fucking
I
crazy.
think so if my math is right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're 45 minutes in. Yeah.
Wow.
goddamn, Dusty said nothing.
Yeah, we're gonna
We
get
gotta.
Are you down
I was-
to talk
I was
about
listening.
your concussion issues and all that?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Are you comfortable talking
Yeah.
about that? Okay, so just to preface, to give you some context too, he's played hockey his whole life. That's how we know each other, by the way. Yeah, you good?
Do you want to set a timer for me?
Oh yeah, okay. Sorry. Before I'm getting ahead of myself.
Or should
If someone has a phone,
Or should I set a timer on the TV?
you can do that if
Yeah.
you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
So first
I'll
time
do
doing
that.
this segment.
Yeah.
For those who watched the first episode, we talked about a segment that we'd have one of them cook up a beat on the spot, and then our guest, if they knew how to freestyle, they would try and attempt a freestyle on the beat right as our timer expires. So we're going to put a 15-minute timer right now. He's going to get to work, see what we could come up with in that time, and then
I'm sweating.
then we'll see. Yeah, take your time. You're good. Is the timer okay? The timer is
So,
about to start, yeah.
since they know that there's a freestyle, there's going to be timer in the back. If the freestyle's shit, we got to keep it in.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's true.
Yeah.
pressure's on you, brother.
Nah, pressure's on us.
It's on both of you, actually. Yeah.
Drew right here
No,
doesn't
no,
want to
no.
freestyle with me.
Because I never signed up for it.
Well,
Well,
I didn't either. I just came here. And
That's
we're gonna-
true. We had a conversation.
No,
I have the
no.
text. I have the receipts. You agreed to it. I sent you a
Hey,
voice memo and I explained.
If I'm gonna come to his defense, it's like
It's very
kind of
implied.
like expected that
Duh.
you jump
Yeah,
in. You know, since,
you're the guy.
Okay,
You're the guy.
fine.
Yeah.
We'll
you
figure
know what? It's
something out.
just, if
We
it's
have-
stupid, it's stupid, and
Yeah.
it's funny. And if it's
There you go.
if it's not stupid, I could maybe my beat's gonna be fucking terrible too.
No.
So,
The beat, I'm
you
sure,
know
will
what?
be good.
Okay.
Have fun with it.
So
You're
wait, I
talking
just want to show the camera that I'm on a empty.
yeah, empty Logic file,
Empty
brand new
Logic.
project here.
I'm gonna do my absolute best.
Hit play on that timer and let's get to work here.
Big Daddy Beam.
Is it going to be weird, do you think, if I take clips of this and there's a timer behind me?
No, I don't think
Nah,
so.
it's okay.
No, that's
No,
fine.
no.
Okay, we're good. Yeah, we're
Nah,
good.
it'll be good.
So, a bit of background for you and for the people watching. He's been playing hockey his whole life. That's how we know each other. They know
Yeah.
that because we introduced that when we first started the podcast. All this to say is that he's had a lot of issues with concussions. Many, many, many concussions for his
Like
young age. It's,
6+.
yeah, that's
just-
very
They
concerning.
let you keep playing after like
Well,
3?
it's not really. It's kind of just me.
It's not
There's,
recommended.
there's no one to like really stop me.
Yeah. So all this to
Which
say
is
is that at
not
this
good,
point,
but-
he's extremely vulnerable to them. Like the smallest incidents on the ice, for me, that would be nothing. Him is a big concussion or a pretty serious one. So when was this? This was in the most recent, like your rehab. Was this
Yeah.
summer? No, it was this
It
fall.
was last season, the last game of the season last year. I got like run by some guy, and I didn't take like the proper precautions to heal it, and I just kept playing throughout the playoffs, and I kept getting hit. So then the summer I just took off. I just didn't play hockey, but So yeah, the summer I just took off. I didn't play, and it got better like a bit. But then I started playing again this year in October, and I like barely got hit. I like snapped my neck back, and I was like fucked.
Yeah.
So then I had to start like a whole rehab thing. Like I did it properly this time.
Yeah.
Took like 5 months, and I'm better now, which is good. But I still deal with on the daily some head issues for sure.
He's a friend of mine, so to see that, it's kind of tough. But I gotta say, for him, the amount of like resilience and perseverance that he had to show through that time is impressive. It says a lot about his character, because the rehab he was going through, bro, like he couldn't watch TV.
It was
he
crazy.
couldn't be on his phone. He couldn't even do puzzles, bro. At one point, he was doing puzzles to stay busy.
And the doctor told me like you can't be doing puzzles. It's too much like strain on your eyes to do a puzzle. So like couldn't do anything.
At 5 months.
5 months, yeah.
And like his main hobbies are hockey, physical activity and music.
Yeah,
he couldn't do either of those
couldn't
things.
make beats, nothing. And I had just broken up with my girlfriend at the time too, so I was like in the dumps for like 3 months. Like
that's you and your thoughts all alone.
bro,
huh?
it was rough.
Oh,
it was rough.
Sorry about that.
And that's tough. Like talking about mental health, bro. You went through it, so
Yeah.
good on you.
But now I'm on the other side and I'm fucking loving life. So
I'm so happy to
worth
hear
it.
that. But you showed a lot of character, bro. Like a lot of people probably would have given up on themselves at that time, and you kept pushing.
Wasn't easy, but
And long term, obviously, those all those things that sucked doing at the time only benefited you moving forward.
Yeah,
I mean, who
that's
knows? If you didn't take it seriously, bro, it could have been a very bad outcome long term for
yeah,
you.
I feel like there still might be long term
Unfortunately, yeah.
some issues, but
Is that something that like scares you a bit?
it comes up in my mind, but you can't live in fear like
No,
that.
you can't control it either.
Yeah, it's too far gone now. So
Do you still play?
I do still play.
Is it you allowed? Like, are you?
Yeah, well, the doctor like cleared me, but like I know that if I have another like serious incident, it's probably over. Like I'm gonna have to stop.
For you, I guess it comes down to you have to pick which one you value more, right? Like hockey is obviously a huge aspect and factor in like your mental health, your physical health, right?
I love it. Everything hockey, like watching hockey, fantasy hockey,
A true
playing
Canadian
hockey,
boy,
like,
yeah. So that's what becomes tough, right? You need to kind of pick between two poisons. Like, do I do this thing that I love and that actually keeps my mental health healthy and my physical health healthy, but there's that huge risk factor? Or do I decide to hang up the skates and not do it, but then you pay the price of like having that vulnerability in your mental health because it played such a big role?
Yeah.
That's a tough decision to be, a tough position to be put in. But anyways, I think you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
As a friend, I'm proud of you, bro. I think I respect it a lot. It says a lot about you as a person. And we don't have to talk about it more because I know it's like a touchy subject for you, but you're well disciplined and you deserve the best. So
much appreciated.
In all
It
honesty,
takes a lot of strength.
it does. It does
take a lot of strength.
And if I look at it as an an outsider looking in, you did everything you could in your power to maximize the chances of, you being able to find that balance between being smart about it, not being an idiot, go play full contact, while also keeping that a big factor and still relevant in your life. So I think you have a good balance now. It's
definitely. Like when I play, I'm way more reserved than when I played before.
Yeah,
hockey. So no more pinching because it's just
don't go starting fights.
Yeah, even though kind of did.
I don't know about that.
The craziest part is like his first
did
game back, he got in a scrap.
First game back from concussion,
I remember, and I get mad at him.
So
I'm like, bro, don't do that. He gets back to the bench, and I was giving him a hard time.
What the fuck are
just
you
out
doing?
of love, because it's fuck,
stupid.
Obviously,
I just
it's normal.
get into it though.
Yeah, in the heat of the moment, it's true.
Can't control.
That competitive aspect comes out. It's normal.
Yeah.
But man, respect to you, my friend.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Okay, let's talk about you getting jumped, if you don't mind.
One extreme to another.
Yeah, I know. So they don't know the story, obviously. You could give some context. No one knows the story except a few people. But I find it interesting, not only the story
pretty good.
sucks.
I don't know if this one's working.
We good?
Yeah, sorry.
The story sucks, but I find that it, I don't know, it was interesting to hear because it kind of changed your perspective moving forward about like how you were moving socially for a bit. So I just want to hear the story. Tell us the story and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah. So this summer when I broke up with my ex, I kind of went through a phase. I don't know if you saw me back then, but I got the blonde highlights in. You know, had to get on my cringe douchebag vibes, and included in that was an electric motorcycle that I bought. And to be honest, I think past summer was like probably like very 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 tough, and it was basically the only thing I liked doing. I'd go out with my friends like a lot, but the only part that I enjoyed was the ride there and the ride back because it's so fun. Anyways, I have to sell it at some point because we live in Montreal and it's fucking cold, and I needed money. So I sell it on Kijiji, and I'm talking to this guy, whatever. And I'm supposed to go meet him with a friend. My friend has to cancel last minute. I'm like, okay, I'll still go. I meet him in public. We talk for like 20 minutes. And then we go for the test drive. Then I stop it at a random spot in the test drive to like discuss price because we had already agreed, so there shouldn't be any negotiations. And then he tells me that he needs to ask his dad if it can fit in the garage. I'm like, okay, whatever, call your dad. After like 10 minutes, I'm like, yo, this shit is long. And then I hear the rustling of like the leaves behind me. And there's this guy with a shiesty mask on who just pushes me against the other guy. And then, so the first guy that I've been talking to for like 30 minutes, I've been super nice to him. We've been like vibing. He's like holding me back while the other guy's punching me in the face.
Oh my god.
And he's like, give me the fucking keys. And I'm like, first reflex, I punch him in the face and I try to run away. The fucking Honda Civic goes by. They just watch me get jumped. They don't stop or anything, which I guess I understand. They're probably scared. And then since I punched him, he really wasn't happy. He takes out, I didn't know what it was. And he was like, give us the keys or we're going to kill you. At that point, no matter what the fuck he was holding, I knew it was a weapon. And I was just like, listen, just take him. And he takes him. He's like, run that way. You come back, you're dead. So I just run. I'm full of blood at that point because like they open the side of my head so I find the first people that I can and they're really scared of me. Obviously, I'm like, listen, call the cops right now, like, and the cops come and listen, I still haven't found it, so I won't lie. This happened like 7 months ago, and I received a call a week ago from the police to ask me if I wanted them to investigate, which really, really annoyed me because
Insulting a bit, eh?
I told them exactly where I was. There's a camera watching straight where we met up. And by now the tapes disappeared for sure.
They're gone, yeah. No, I remember you had to go to the hospital and everything, right?
Yeah, I ended up at the hospital. But you know, it's a shitty story. But at the end of it, you know, you learn a lesson from it. And I think a big part of last year is just lessons after lessons, and I think that's the only way to see it. You know, a lot of shit happened in the year, and I think it was just part of it. You just got to keep moving forward.
So I remember I'd seen you this winter, which was way more recent to when it had happened. And I remember you were super, super conscientious and aware of your surroundings. Like you were like scared still, bro. Like I remember when we were walking around, you were always attentive, like, okay, like who's around me, exits, this, that. And you were talking about how like since then you were scared to like go out. And I can only imagine like that's normal. I mean, that's a scary experience.
Yeah, well, I mean, after that happened, I wouldn't go out of my house like for like a good week. I didn't go outside at all. Then when I went outside, it would only be if I really had to. And now I'll say, after that for like a few months, every time I went outside, I have to look behind me.
Okay, that's what you were doing when we were chilling.
Yeah, I'd have to because it just what it showed me is that, you know, as I grew up around people who try to be good people. I myself, it's always been such a big part of my identity. It's like so important. The only thing that's important in my life is that I'm proud of who I am. And so it hadn't registered to me that there's actual people
Like
my
bad
age
people.
that look normal. You know, they don't look like fucking crackheads. They look normal, and they didn't need my motorcycle to eat.
Yeah.
They just thought it was a cool looking bike. And there's bad people in the world, man. So, yeah, it made me a bit paranoid, but also maybe in a good way because I'm more aware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when you're a good person, you automatically by default assume that people are good too, and like you just like not in a dumb way, but like you just like those people. Like if I were to buy something off Marketplace, I wouldn't expect or anticipate to get jumped. You know what I mean? Like you just kind of assume like everyone's straight business, everyone's respectful. But then when you get in those situations, obviously it changes your perspective on things.
100%. And I mean, it's the only direction you can go is forward, right? So you just gotta.
Yeah.
But it definitely changed a lot. After that happened, I stopped hanging out with friends for a while. For like, simply because you did say it affected my social circle.
Yeah.
That's just because the friend that I was supposed to go with, we had an argument about what had happened. For a good solid 6 months, it was just me, myself, and I. And as I said, everything is an opportunity. Because I was alone, I took time to isolate and think, and I actually went back to my studies.
Respect.
And I actually went back on my shit, and I actually thought about where I wanted to go in life. And so, once again, I was hanging out with a girl recently. It's a cute girl from New York.
Shout out the birds
she's
for
not
New
gonna
York.
see this.
I'll send it to her.
And she
I'll track her down.
she said something like we were talking about self-improvement, which is the way to my heart directly.
Fun fact, I noticed. I started your IG yesterday. Your bio says self-improvement.
Yep.
Yeah, I wanted you to elaborate on that a bit. Yeah, keep going.
I will. And then this girl said something like, maybe I'm misquoting, but it's like, God never does something to us. He only does stuff for us.
Yeah. The quote that I live by is very similar. It's things don't happen to you, they happen for you.
That's probably what she said. I just heard God. And so I think that even in the toughest situations, like your girl when you broke up, it's so fucking tough. But there's always, if you live with this belief in you that it's always for the better, it just it changes how things register.
But it's a mindset. Like you need to have an optimistic look on life, or else you're always going to be victim.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And you won't always have that mindset. By the way, like I wanted to kill him. Like it's not like just you need time to
you need to digest anything you're going through.
100%.
But long term, you need to realize that there's a greater meaning, greater reasoning, or else you're always going to live life kind of feeling like you're the victim in every situation.
And you just can't live like that.
Bro, that must be an exhausting life to live, seriously.
And I mean, I had to elaborate, but I think the beat is getting...
Yeah, I see behind me, we're about to ding right here.
And I'm done, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 15-minute...
beat. So where are you guys going to play the beat on?
Yeah,
we haven't figured that out.
I was going to ask before the podcast if you have a speaker somewhere. You could keep talking while you go get it.
It's going to be a huge vibe switch, though.
Yeah.
To go from talking about those vulnerable topics to then...
now check the sick beat out.
Dude, we're talking about how God... Life, things never happen. Things never happen to you. They only happen for you. Yeah, we're just talking about how to adopt a mindset in which you're grateful for even the worst things that can possibly happen, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if Dusty, you want to talk about that with your breakup that you went through. Maybe you have something to say about that.
Yeah, well, it was generally like a tough point in my life. Overall, I had been with her for like 8 months plus the concussion all at the same time. But I knew like in the moment it was the right decision to make. And now that I'm on like the other side of it, it's even more like the right decision to make. So
the other side hits different.
Yeah,
always.
What's nice is this is something I've said to my friends. I use it almost all the time because, I mean, whenever someone's going through a tough time, it's hard to find any good out of anything bad, right? But there's always lessons to be learned. And even if you don't like get it right away, like sometimes something will happen later where you're like, oh, I've seen this before. And and then you know somewhat better how to react or better how to like at least deal with it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes there's people that you stop talking to and you see them 2 years later and you realize you're like, oh, there were signs that this person was going to be this way or was this way that back then I didn't notice because you
ignored them. You just ignored them, probably. No.
Yeah, we were talking about this on the way over here.
I don't even know.
No. We were talking about this on the way here. I was saying that you always know in your gut.
Yeah, like deep down. Like it's like if you start talking to a girl,
feel it,
like he was saying, like you see the red flags, but at the beginning you kind of like subconsciously
you
push
just-
them to the side.
Or I
You
could
get
change
blinded.
her.
Yeah.
And those
That's
are
the
always
biggest-
the issues that
that's the
end up
biggest
being the
one.
reason why it doesn't work out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've
Those little
convinced
things.
myself for like 2 years that I had like a massive anxiety disorder, and then I broke up with a girl, and I was like, okay, so actually there was like a reason that I was stressing.
that was my disorder.
No, but I'm telling you, dog. Like I broke up, and then like there was disrespect. There were boundaries that were crossed, and I was like, oh, so everything that all these thoughts in my mind that were making me sick were true, and I think that it's a thing that people don't trust themselves nowadays anymore. They're like,
I think a lot of people try to dig too deep on it too, which obviously it's good to be like logical and mindful with your thoughts, but it's definitely good to keep in mind like your gut feeling.
yeah,
At least keep it in the equation.
Exactly. You can't just
can't-
disregard it.
You can't push it to
completely.
the side because, I mean, I've had a lot of gut feelings that were absolutely like incorrect, but
Yeah, it's
you
true.
have.
yeah, well, like somewhere it's just like, oh, I don't know about this guy, and I'm like, oh no, this guy's fucking chill.
Yeah, like I was tripping.
Yeah, this guy's a really cool guy.
All right, so we're good. We're gonna get to the.
Well, I'd like to hear
first.
it.
Well, yeah. So,
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
just brought you the speaker. You're gonna have to connect to it. It's called JBL Flip, I think. Then just loop
Just
it. I
to be
guess.
clear, Drew, when I say it's your turn, you just go.
Yeah, I want to preface this. I do not freestyle. I write music.
Bro,
I'm
I don't
okay at
freestyle
it.
either, dog.
That's not true. I know for a fact that's not true. What I'm saying is true. Yeah,
Can
we'll
I
see.
hold this mic? Or is it gonna start like
You can hold it, just don't like throw it around.
Yeah,
but you
it's
could,
just 'cause
yeah,
I'm
if it makes you feel cooler.
just kinda, dude, just play it.
Play it.
Just fucking
just hit play,
just
bro.
stop teasing me.
Yeah, good luck, bro.
It's kinda slow, dude. I don't know.
You want me
to speed it up?
Speed up the BPM.
Yeah,
it
speed
sounds
up
hard
a
though.
bit. Speed it up a bit.
speed up the beat.
Okay. So I wait till the beat drops again.
Yeah, it's gonna go silent.
Take your time. If just get into it, you'll get into it.
I actually don't know if I'm gonna be able, but we'll try it out.
Yeah, try it, or else we'll just delete it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm in the basement, I'm chilling with Drew, and he be drinking the booze. And I'm with Dusty, his ex with I got a dope with it, and she love me. Yeah, with your bitch, and she actually crazy. I'm up in the public, they talking to me like they actually love it. I'm done with a lot of these in the back, killing these rappers. I gotta attack. They never react to the facts when I'm back on the track with Drew. Killing these rappers, you know that it's new. NSL when I'm sent to hell. I'm the best in the city, no MTL. When I pull up in the beat, ain't nobody gonna see. Got the feet. Trying to talk, if you really want to feet, better pay up with a pay stub. I don't take no talking shit, gotta take no, yeah. And I'm drinking my water with a then I fuck at the daughter, she actually mad though. When a man, ain't nobody really gonna pull up with a Benz though. Well, in a Merco Benz, talk, but I got no friends. Only me, myself, and I got a she talk about time. Look at the watch, icy, forgot it.
Yo, that was fucking hard,
I forgot my watch, dude. Fuck me.
Yo, you actually go fucking crazy.
Yeah, that was.
That's fast. That's like not.
That's
Like
yeah.
not slow freestyle.
Yo, the beat is hard as fuck, but it's hard to freestyle on. I won't lie.
It is kind of hard. Yeah.
It is hard to. Yo, I want you to try. I don't know
Like-
if you, bro, just put another beat that you already cooked up then.
Oh yeah.
You could play that beat though, like the YMCA beat there.
Such a fire beat.
Yeah.
I'm working on it right now too.
Yeah,
Add some stuff.
yeah. We're gonna make a track.
That freestyle is so trash, dog. That shit was so fucking horrible.
That's okay. It's fun. It's fun though.
Nah,
That shit was horrible.
Like
dog.
the-
Oh,
To his standard, like I understand why you would think that.
that was
Very
pretty
Yeah,
impressive. Yeah.
yeah, but some words were just.
You
like,
shot yourself in the foot by going that fast. When I heard the speed, I was
You
like,
gotta
damn.
go fast. I'm not gonna start going. Go with the flow.
This is.
That's what I would do. That's why I didn't do it.
This is a beat that I think we're gonna.
Yeah, we will use this beat.
Okay.
Eventually we'll use it for first. No, I'm not going first.
What you mean?
I'm not. When did I agree
is
to go
your
first? No, it's his beat.
What the fuck is
So
this?
listen,
Oh my god, this is so hard.
you're gonna be good on this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure it loops. Is it looping?
There's enough sound.
It's a
Every
minute.
time I hop on
No?
the beat, man, it's crazy. Got your ex, and she wavy. Every time I wake up, feeling too lazy. Man, I got the flow, this shit too brazy. Like an ocean, you don't ever know this shit. Gotta pull up with and watch, yeah, she notice it. Got my ring, man, you know I gotta go again. Yeah, she tryna hold my friend, man, I gotta go and get. in the back of the club. Talk about love, no, I just. If I'm trying to be honest, man, I gotta get the profits. Got a lot of cash and they stacked up in my wallet, man. This shit is too thick, like my ex crazy. Now she not thick, man, this shit too Swayze. Whoa, looking at the light, I'm on the microphone. Used to cry at home, now I cry at her the microphone. Yeah, now she give me every night. Kill a rapper quickly if you really wanna fight. Now this cat, nah, I ain't really tough guy. Talk, but I, yeah, only got love guy, yeah. Give me some words.
Oh,
Pull up
that'd
on
be
the
funny.
beat with a cup full of coffee. Yeah, she tryna stop me. You don't got time. Really gotta get a biscuit. When I live with a lot of fucking homies on the speaker, man, I'm talking about my teacher. If you wanna pray, then you better see the preacher. Like,
Microphone.
Dusty.
Or mic. Mic.
Man, I'm rapping on the fucking mic and I got a homie, his name's Mike. And you know I would do it every night. Yeah, I'm recording every single time it's on me. Yeah, I don't got no time for the. Yeah, but I got time for my bros, cause we gonna do a podcast, man, I'm on that, better stop that, you can stop Zax, when I pull up I'ma pop that, pop back, you know I never stop rap, yeah, hey, and he's bopping and looking at his head, talking 1 second then he's dead,
That's cap.
no they finna dread, that's cap, if they tryna talk they don't know how to act.
Are you so vulgar? My parents liked you, I don't think they'll like you anymore.
Dude, it's just cause I'm rapping, I gotta think
know.
fast.
That was impressive.
Yeah, there's no chance I'm saying anything. I'm saying it now.
It's okay, Ashi.
What?
There's no chance.
Yo, I don't know if that like show it to me before you post it, like just so I can see it. Like,
No, that was
Oh, yeah,
fucking
no, don't
hard.
worry,
don't worry,
I'll
From
make
an
sure.
outside's
If it looks
perspective.
cringy on camera, I won't include it. Don't worry.
alright, okay.
Yeah.
No,
Thanks for doing it, though.
It was like a minute. It was good.
Thank you for.
I thought it was good.
Thanks for doing it for real. I appreciate that. That was fun. It's
Yeah.
like the complete vibe switch of talking about like depression.
Yeah,
and being
straight to like
you know,
vibe
it's like it
trap.
was so aggressive.
No, but you know what?
On the vibe switch, like
It's
everyone's
kinda funny,
crying.
though.
Like we were crying half an hour ago. Now it's anyways.
I
funny.
think the idea of having words to give me would have.
Yeah, the words is-
I
yeah.
should.
Yeah.
We should have thought of that before.
Just hope it doesn't look too bad that you guys were talking super deep and I'm just like, like trying to make it be.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah,
It's
super
like,
ignorant.
like pants to Dusty
Super
and me and he's
neglecting.
like talking and shit and I'm just like, fuck, I have 5 minutes
Yeah,
left.
that looks so funny. One guy crying, one guy head bopping.
Plug your
You can
music.
plug yourself here. Give yourself a plug.
Yeah, Zax the artist on Instagram. I have a shit
saw that.
ton of music that is gonna come out if enough people want it.
It's probably cap. It's never gonna come out. So convince him to DM him like, bro, drop your music.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Eat healthy, take care of yourself. That's very important. And one day, I'm writing a book, and it's pretty trash, but one day it's gonna be good enough to release it. So
Right now, you're
one day
writing a
you'll be
book?
able to.
We talked for an hour and a half. You never brought up the fact that you're writing a book.
No, I didn't, because we weren't talking about that. I'm not just
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
fucking. Like,
Well, I don't. How would I?
How arrogant is that?
How would I know?
We're
I'd be like,
he's talking about his concussion. I wrote a book.
yeah, but at the same time, how am I gonna know? Like, I won't just ask random people if they wrote books.
Well, I put a story like a while ago. I thought you might remember.
My memory's poor, man.
Yeah, but I'm stuck at like page 50. I can't.
That's a lot of pages.
It is a lot of pages. I was like super productive for like 2 weeks, and then I just.
What's the book about? You? Autobiography? Or?
Okay, no, I'm not that no.
Self-centered.
It's more like
Self-improvement.
yeah, stuff I
Okay.
learned that I think that a lot of people, it's pretty obvious, but a lot of people don't realize. And I just think that it's important. It's a new format of presenting things that people should know. So
Good
yeah,
for you, man.
Fair enough.
Good shit. Well,
Yeah,
you
good
saved
shit.
it for the promotion part anyways.
Yeah, there you go.
Plug,
So, I mean, it's
plug
not-
the book.
who knows if it'll.
Eventually, maybe someday we'll have a book written by. I don't know if I'll
And
read it. 'cause I don't
I'll
read
buy-
books,
I'll
but
buy a copy.
If there's an audio version,
Yeah,
I'll definitely
nobody
listen.
reads book anyways, dude. I have trouble reading a whole ass book.
If there's an audio version, I'll give it a listen for sure.
Hashi, you could narrate it because you got a nice soothing ASMR voice.
I'll ASMR. Once upon a time on Facebook Marketplace. Sorry,
They
dude.
attacked me.
Too soon. My bad.
No, it's okay.
Okay, that was a fun episode. Hopefully you guys liked it. I know very different vibes, but I think it's cool to see the contrast. I know usually we're here, we just kind of joke around. We're the type that, we don't take ourselves too seriously. Like we just kind of have fun with life and music and all that. So you guys don't really see that side of us. So that's why I wanted to bring you here, because I know, as you guys probably agree, he was well-spoken on all the topics we talked about. I wish we could talk more, but obviously we can't stay forever. So, and yeah, boys, that was fun.
Yeah,
I think regardless of the pod or not, it's good to have these combos.
Yeah.
So any young men out there, grab your 4 favorite friends and just talk about it, man. Don't repress too much because it's gonna come with a price tag for sure. But that's it, man.
Be proud of who you are.
Yeah, that's it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's all about lifestyle. We never talk about our music, but go stream our music. We never plug ourselves. We're plugging him today, which I'm happy, but you can always check our own music out. A lot of our music stems from places of, dealing with mental health. That's really why we even do music. So.
I can't believe we talked about like mental health for an hour, and then I just spit a freestyle about.
And it's neat to start rapping about mental health. Like therapists, words like that will find you next time. Yeah.
Oh, therapists rhyme so easily too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If there's anyone who's actually tried freestyling though, that's like extremely impressive listening to you because
you're right.
Especially if you haven't like worked on it at all and you just try and you think it's like easy to just come up with rhymes, it's not at all.
Yeah. No, respect, bro. Thanks for coming, bro. All the best to you. Yeah, boys. Thanks, Dusty, for opening up. Appreciate it.
Of course.
And yeah, we'll be back.
Never stop laughing.
Never stop laughing,
baby.
Sure, boys.
Let's go.
GG's.
Thanks,
bro. Did you have fun?
Dude, that was so nice.
Yeah.
And I feel like we could have went on for like.
That's the thing with these pods. We get cut off. Like, we have to stop. You know
Bro,
what I
when
mean?
it was 40, you said it was 45 minutes already. It's like
that to me too is
crazy.
mind-boggling. We would have stayed 3 hours. Damn.
Damn. Was that good?
In my opinion, you were great, bro. You seemed quite natural. You seemed comfortable.
oh fuck! I didn't have my snacks.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about that. I was like, yo, we didn't have.
I guess because of that. Yeah, you were cooking instead of eating.